Well, I know markets are rallying. Princess Leia died. Markets rally. George Michael died a couple days ago. Markets rally. Um, Toshiba CEO apologizes after stock plummets on latest accounting scandal. Aside from Toshiba, markets rally. I thought this would take down Mark. No. Markets must always rally. Actor deaths, markets rally. Someone cooking the books, a giant, enormous company like freaking Toshiba, markets rally. Toshiba stock didn't rally, not on that news, but other markets rallied. So I usually come out here and talk about the banks, the financial institutions cooking their books, trickery in their accounting, using special accounting rules or different accounting rules and making their assets look a lot higher as far as value goes than they really are. Offsetting somehow their debt. Again, to make it look like they've got way more assets than debt, when a lot of times the opposite is true. Kind of like the banks, when they had all those mortgage-backed securities, they were selling everybody, bundling mortgages and selling them as securities on Wall Street. And these were the foreclosures. These were the people who already quit paying, and they're just packaging and bundling them like these are the best prime stuff you can get, only to find out they weren't prime. And the rating that they needed to have to sell it to the people they sold it to, institutions and investors, they didn't really have because they were garbage. We just kind of hid that fact. Federal Reserve steps in, massive bailout for all the banks, and Federal Reserve buys all of those mortgage-backed securities. In other words, they bought these mortgages. So when you get foreclosed on and it said, we are servicer of your note, Bank of America or Citigroup or Wells Fargo, whoever, we're the servicer, you're behind. And you ask them, because I've done this before, I said, by the way, I'm getting these letters. I already quit paying my mortgage a long time ago, already settled, etc. But I remember calling them. Your paperwork, that this letter or whatever notice you're sending me, it says we are such and such corp, LLC nonsense. We are the servicer of your note from the note of note holder. We are servicer of your loan of note holder. Now you would think it would say note holder XYZ company or XYZ hedge fund. No. Note holder. And they're calling me, you're behind. When do you think you can make payment? You know what I told them back then? When do you think I can make a next payment? Are you writing these notes into the computer? Yes, I am, sir. Never. So I told them right on the phone. I will never be making this payment because you guys have some major problems with the chain of title on my house. And I'm calling and asking you, who is note holder? And your response to me is, you'll have to sue us to find out who the note holder is. But if that's who I'm making the payment, my mortgage to, you know exactly who the note holder is. And that's what I want to find out, because now I'm even more suspicious because these letters you've been sending me says note holder. Who is the note holder? Well, you have to sue us, sir. No, I got a better idea. You're going to have to sue me if you want to collect a dime from me. You getting that in the notes? Yes. Make sure you get in there. Massive problems with the chain of title. Put that in the notes. Okay. Because all she said was, as soon as she called up, because I guess that's her job daily, to call people and hound them, and she probably gets screamed at and probably doesn't have a good day. So I just said to her, because first word out of her mouth, this was a few years ago, by the way, I just need to update my notes. I just need to update my notes. I don't care what you tell me, sir. Basically, I just need to update my notes. Just give me something to put in here. Oh, no problem. I'm going to give you more than enough to put in there. And the funny thing was, after I hung up that last time, they stopped calling me. And they weren't trying to foreclose yet. It was a while, a couple years went by. Maybe more like closer to 3 years, I think. Then they finally just went straight into the foreclosure process, which of course I fought. You know the whole story. So It's common for financial institutions to quote unquote cook their books. Just look at the bank Monte Paschi, Italy's oldest bank, hundreds of years old, never needed a bailout ever apparently until now. And they needed $5 billion. And there is a run on the bank as I'm doing this video. And I got another video to do about it, by the way. And it goes like this. We now need about 10 billion. We thought we needed 5. We tried to raise 5 billion from capital from investors, private investors. We got 500 million, as I've discussed. Epic fail, right? Yes. So the government should come in and say, okay, here's 5 billion for you. Now you're whole. Matter of fact, here's 6. I'll give you a little bonus. Here's 6. Sorry, because so many people have been pulling their money out of our bank, we now need closer to 10 billion. In the headline, unexpectedly, Monte Paschi unexpectedly needs quick. Look surprised. Guess who's been cooking their books like the rest of them? All the banksters. So when I see a non-banking institution, non-bank, Toshiba, laptops and things, televisions, electronics, Toshiba, phones even, they make phone systems. CEO apologizes after stock plummets on latest accounting scandal. I'm going to pause this for 1 sec. Well, actually, no, I'm not, because I can pull this up very easily by switching screens. When I read here it is. When I read that story, I immediately went online. What is the stock worth? Down 11.6%. Ouch. All because the CEO came out and told the truth. We've been cooking our books, and I apologize. So I got a question for everybody who just loves the stock market right now. All-time high. My 401k is looking fantastic. Screw you guys and your gold and silver. This is where the money's at. Out of nowhere, as you're going to hear, from the last 7 years, they've been cooking their books. For 7 years straight, they've been cooking their books. No financial regulator, no government, no nothing has found this out until this guy got caught. Keyword, got caught finally. And now I must apologize. And from what I think I'm about to read to you, there will be no clawback on bonuses, CEO pay, golden parachutes. They're going to keep that. So again, the question is, from me to you, if everybody trusts this stock market so much, these pieces of paper that are utterly meaningless, it takes one guy to come out and tell the truth. This is not some little, remember MF Global or whatever? Or not MF Global. What was the billionaire, $50 billion Madoff, the Madoff scandal? No one really knew the guy, his firm, his company. It wasn't some giant company. It's not Toshiba. But you might expect to hear that from little no-names, little startups or something, and they tricked everybody and took the money and run. Had to cook their books, of course, in the process. We're talking about, quote-unquote, prestigious, top, Fortune 500 Toshiba. We're sorry, we effing lied. We've been lying for 7 years. So here we go from Zero Hedge. Last July, a pillar of so-called Japan Inc. crashed when Toshiba admitted it had inflated profits by a stunning $1.2 billion for no less than 7 years, with fabricated figures accounting to 30% of the company's profits, supposed profits, since 2008. In the immediate aftermath of the scandal becoming public, Toshiba's then CEO, Hisao Tanaka, said on Tuesday at a news conference, following a 15-second bow of contrition, that he, quote, felt the need to carry out a major overhaul in our management team in order to build anew our company. We have suffered what could be the biggest erosion of our brand image in our 140-year history, end quote. As a result, Tanaka, who, together with 5 members of his senior staff, resigned after bowing down to and apologizing to investors. Of course, the only reason Mr. Tanaka apologized and resigned is not because he was actually cooking books for the unprecedented 7 years, a period during which the CEO most certainly received tens, if not hundreds, of millions in equity and profit-linked compensation, but because he was caught. This was confirmed because none of his bonuses had been clawed back, even as a panel of external lawyers and accountants said on Monday there was a systemic and deliberate attempt to inflate profit figures amid a corporate culture in which employees were afraid to speak out against bosses' pushes for unrealistic earnings targets. So let's just cook the books and fake them. What's that saying? Fake it until you make it. Yeah, that sounds good. And I believe in Japanese they say, or domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Actually, they don't say that at all. It means something completely different. Fast forward to Monday, when in its second major scandal announcement in as many years, Toshiba said cost overruns at U.S. nuclear reactors in its building were likely to force a write-down of as much as several $billion, clouding its turnaround plan after the 2015 accounting scandal. Specifically, the company said it may have to book several $1 billion in charges related to a U.S. nuclear power plant construction company acquisition, rekindling, quote, concerns about its accounting acumen, end quote. Toshiba's latest write-down would be another slap in the face for a sprawling conglomerate hoping to recover from a $1.3 billion accounting scandal, as well as a write-down of more than $2 billion for its nuclear business in the last financial year. Quote, this will come as an additional shock to Toshiba's institutional investors that may further undermine confidence in company management, as well as significantly weakening its international nuclear credentials, said Tom O'Sullivan, founder of energy consultancy Matthews, Japan. The warning sent the stock price of one of Japan's largest companies, crashing, that would be Toshiba, over 10% in Tokyo trading, came just as the Japanese conglomerate seemed to have turned a corner thanks to an upswing in its semiconductor business. Cited by the Wall Street Journal, Toshiba execs on Tuesday said the company was looking at emergency steps to raise funds, including borrowing from its main banks. They said they couldn't rule out the possibility that Toshiba's U.S. nuclear power subsidiary, Westinghouse Electric Co., would fall into negative net worth as a result of the write-down. But most notable, or perhaps frustrating to Toshiba shareholders, is that Toshiba's new CEO, Satoshi Sunakawa, who only took the helm in June, also took the apologetic way out and became the latest boss of the company to bow before the cameras after the 2015 scandal, which led to a clean sweep of top management after the company acknowledged it had padded its financial results for years. Now, I have a question. It's going to be the same question about MF Global, who stole their clients' money, bet with it on the markets, and then lost it. And the question there was, nobody got in trouble. How come? Why did John Corzine, CEO, not get in any trouble? Answer, he was an Obama donor, big time. There's pictures of him hanging out, partying, etc. with Obama. But this is a little different. This is Japanese, Toshiba. Then again, maybe Toshiba funneled a little money to someone's campaign contributions. And no one's in trouble anywhere. And again, I know this is another country, but in Japan, are there no laws against this kind of thing? Where you can just cheat your accounting books and it's okay. You just come out, bow down, sign of respect, say I'm sorry in Japan or Japanese, and all is good. New CEO, come out, take a bow. What was that? Austin Powers? Dad, if you're out there, baby, take a bow. Daddy wasn't there. Sunakawa wasn't there. Daddy wasn't there to take me to the fair or change my underwear. That was the Austin Powers song, by the way. Thank you. Quote, I apologize to shareholders, business partners, and all stakeholders for the trouble we have caused, he said in a news conference at the company Tokyo headquarters. Well, if that isn't sufficient to absolve the CEO and his company, not to mention investors, of gross stupidity and perhaps criminality, we don't know what is. And he continued, quote, we would have needed to boost our capital base anyway, because our shareholders' equity ratio is low, the CEO said in a press conference. In other words, don't worry about this. We're going to have to raise capital anyways. So basically, you're another Monty Paschi bank. Just bought something else out, and now it's insolvent. Therefore, we're insolvent. We're going to raise some capital. And all I can say is, I sure hope you get to raise whatever your target is for capital raising. Boy, I hope you get it and don't get the Monty Paschi treatment. Oh, we need $5 billion. We made out with $500 million. So you need like a crap load more. Yeah. I sense maybe a Toshiba fire sale going on to one of the club members buying up that company. I can kind of smell it in the air. According to Reuters, as of end of September, Toshiba had shareholders' equity of 363 billion yen, or just 7.5% of assets, which could fall close to zero if the company is forced to log significant losses. Asked if Toshiba's liabilities would exceed its assets, Chief Financial Officer Mr. Hirata said the company had not yet completed its estimation of the charge. So we can't answer that, is what he's saying. Which means what, my friends? You know the answer. You know what this means. Yes, we have extreme liabilities that exceed our assets. And we are currently looking at a way to cook those books for as long as we can, so that when we have to report that we're done with the completing this estimation, we're going to give you good news, even though it's bad news. And then when we get caught later, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll find a way out. But for now, we'll cook the books again, because that's what all companies do. All these big companies, they cook the books. These are Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies. And these bastards are out there cooking the books, lying, cheating, stealing. We've got these huge assets on paper, but we're examining them now, and it's not looking good. So what do you think? I don't want to answer that. Wait till we're done with this. As if you didn't already know, as the Chief Financial Officer, what was going to be coming. They didn't tell you to get busy on that spreadsheet. Everything's computerized. You can quickly, I mean super quickly, find out exactly what your assets and liabilities are, because that's not something you have to enter in right now and determine what it is. They're already entered in your accounting system. You can easily run a report very rapidly. But instead, we don't know. We don't want to comment yet because we haven't completed this. Translated, we're screwed. We have way more liabilities than assets, just like the too big to fail banks, just like a lot of these huge companies. We lie. But the stock market's looking good, and our stock, even though it dropped 11%, still is not too bad. And you want to wonder why, J-Snip, don't play that game? This is one of many reasons, not the only reason, one of many reasons. Analysts said further write-downs were possible and expressed fears about the nuclear business weighing down the company, which makes everything from elevators to electronic devices. Already, Toshiba took a 260 billion yen impairment charge in its last fiscal year when it downgraded the book value of Westinghouse. Recently, demand from customers, including Chinese smartphone makers, has helped Toshiba's core semiconductor unit boost profits. Before news of the nuclear write-down, the company said it anticipated earning 145 billion yen net profit for the year ending March 2017. But that may change now because of this breaking news of us cooking the books and have a massive write-down. We didn't kind of sort of calculate and may have more liabilities than assets now. None of this makes sense, right? When you look at a big company like this, you think to yourself, smartest, most intelligent, of course, most highly paid executive, CEO on the face of the earth. Look at the size of the company. Look at what it's worth. Look at the billions that it allegedly makes. These guys, again, are the smartest in the room. They're certainly not going to be cooking books. There's not going to be a need. You're going to be running a phenomenal company, phenomenal profits, by the book. Only to find out, wrong. You lose shareholders, good day, sir. Yeah, but I thought, good day, sir. But this piece of paper said, good day. That's the end of it. That's how it ends. Willy Wonka style. For all the people who believed in the stock market. That's how it always ends. You're going to believe in a fantasy like Willy Wonka. I thought I had the golden ticket. No, you didn't have the golden ticket. You had a piece of paper that you can now wipe your butt with, pretty much, because that's about all it's worth. Okay? Take care.